will be delivered to a new team, either Ici Japon or Los Ratones. They were able to climb the mountain, but only one king will be able.
Pro support is that it is the more important matchup. For Prime, this outside was something we saw the other day in the semi-finals, really good at punishing that 2v2 lane of KC Blue. That's how Han Sum-D got ahead. And I know, Frockstrop, you were also talking about how Han Sum-D was, favoring this misfortune, how it was one of his best champions as Lost Ratones start with the invade down bot. This is going to be matched by IJC, and you look at Theocax, he wants to get in, get that Smite first. Velia is trying to turn for a target, but Smite is down. Airborne for the time being. Prime gets onto Velia, the Ignite's down as well. Surtus flashes over in front of 4 people. Now, he will get the kill, but he gets 4 shot by Crowny. It's a 1-for-1 to open up game
Dragon
1.
stacking does simplify the game, make things a lot easier, and playing towards your bot side of the map. We said that would be happening a lot, and so far it's Los Ratones who are executing that one out.
As usual.
They do have a lot of push towards the bot side of the map, and we do know that Los Ratones do like to play primarily for Dragon. IJC, not only did they manage to get back on the map with items, but they also pushed their lanes out too.
But Prime just pulled the flash off, didn't get anything from Velia. And they can just come and take over this as well. Baus moved off the map, sacrificed the wave. You don't normally say that about the top laner, but his team play has been growing, not only coming up from the bottom side of River, as Baus looks to zone as well. The all-in, the shockwave sets up, Shielded Duran, 2-man, Deadly Flash doesn't connect, but Howling pops the ulti on the other side. Velia has to reconnect as it's a defensive ult from Baus. The curtain call does not get a kill. In the end, it's only helping out to zone, and then control. Surtus with a quick hit. Half HP, health bar's not good. Lost Ratones have played the waiting game of Deadly Flourish onto enemy jungler. Theocax is now low himself, zoned out as Nemesis. Auto attacks almost finds him and Impale. Going over to Baus. He takes a bullet time as well. At the
Having
cost of
these defensive summoners is honestly, a lot of
tower?
times, all you've got.
That is a mid lane tower.
That is the mid lane turret. And the feats, I almost
still not solved, are they?
almost going
It's either
down,
2 kills for Los Ratones or 1 kill for IJC. That's where feats of strength is lying right now.
It's odd to have the kills be the last one to determine the feats, right?
Yeah, and
That's
with
the first thing that goes down.
Rush Satakan being up,
Yeah,
that's a great theme. Oh, Velia.
Surtus again, that flash was just burnt, so Velia has a free kill here, especially with Reckless and Nemesis moving up and waiting, but caught out, and there's enough damage. Remember again, as Velia tries to run away, the TP's the only thing to dissuade, and it will do exactly that. Howling teleports to the voracious side of the map, but you can see Baus is in the bottom side, taking the turret for the trade.
Yes, good stuff from Los Ratones here. The pressure generated on the other side and just not overforcing their hand, forcing IJC to respond, but still getting things
Could
on
be
the other
huge. Nemesis no flash.
Baus is frontlining for now, but Nemesis
got
sees him, walks in, takes the Celestial Blessing. Baus has no way but to go back in. Shielded Duran, he's walking fast though as the curtain call in front of the Dragon. Theocax has to flash out. The Tempered Fate buys them time. Shockwave is the 2-man, but the Smite is in front, and a Mountain Soul given. Lost Ratones hit the mark hard in game 1 as Velia now has the Heartbreak out. Crowning thinks about a re-engage. Teleport for round.
let it all happen, but of course, can they execute it in the team fights?
Might get an answer to that shortly because Baron or Atakan, either one on the menu. Lost Ratones group is 5, and Surtus will have to teleport in here. Howling has threatened off the turret, that tier 1 with a minion wave in front of it. Both Atakan and the turret.
How do you walk up? You have no vision, you have no pushed waves, you have no towers. You walk up, you end up dying. I think what they're going to have to do is just give up the Voracious Ataka, but LR can just turn it into a Baron.
Nemesis flash pulverized, though. He flashes to get through the magical journey, and Brian went for a trip himself. Bullet time layers down in the choke. That's a great ulti from Han Sum-D, but Prime is still in the middle of nowhere with the curtain call on his face. That takes him down. A reset for Velia. Impale into the reset. He's bigged over. Velia gets a 3-man knockup. The Chaos Storm trying to do some extra work, though. Baus with a 4-man taunt. It won't matter because he doesn't have any damage by his side.
Be a Baron.
IJC, the setup afterwards was perfect to take the Atakan from their hands.
So Voracious Atakan doesn't end up going down. Theocax actually connects on a 2-man ult, and Atakan used the buff from the Voracious Atakan to threaten Baron as well. What a disastrous fight for Los Ratones.
Disastrous is the correct word in that situation. The Atakan was even leashed down to like a quarter HP, so IJC can easily take both of these down in a game that looked like it was spinning towards Los Ratones' favor with that early Mountain Soul has completely flipped.
As you said, that's going to define the game. 3-item victor for that Elder as well. In the last fight, Surtus, I believe, got all the kill credit, if not most of it, alongside Howling. So there are some real serious AP threats that Lost Ratones have to deal with, as they're just losing gold fast with this Baron. bot next on the menu with the tier 3.
Yeah, 2.6k gold up. That was our superstar matchup, if you will, of this one. But the bot lane tower is going to go down super fast.
It's a dive from Prime. He has the GA, remember. Bounce almost stuns it, takes it off. Crownie close with the auto as well, but for the turret, it's okay. The curtain call looking for the cow in the pasture, but the heat gets layered down. Howling drops his ulti to stop the curtain call in his track, and bottom inhibitor is down at 29 minutes.
Hey, Handsome D attack, but Handsome D protect as well. He
True.
tried to cover for the bullet from Crownie right there, protecting Prime and the buff. And now Los Ratones really need to take control of that area. That Elder Dragon could very easily dictate who wins this game.
Wow, that lost team fight could not have come at a worse time for Los Ratones right there. Losing Atakan, losing Nash, losing Inhib, and potentially losing Elder Dragon as well. Really just...
Sam, oh, he's gone
losing
in,
Baus.
he gets the reset on the auto. Baus is dead. That's a horrible time for Baus. 20 seconds until the Elder spawns. 50 for Baus. That was not a good death.
No.
On me.
My bad.
That's
My
definitely
bad.
on him.
Yeah, unfortunate right there for Baus. Pushed up a little bit too far. The thing is, he's itemized for Magicist, right? He's got that MR Sunfire Cape, not the actual Sunfire Cape. So, yeah, Hansamdi completely burns through him. And this should just be a free dragon right now. You see the Rats not even thinking about contesting this one. Just set to lick their wounds on the rest of the map. It's not looking good.
But that's actually really scary because there's so much siege on the side of IJC.
Tier 2 under fire. That's going to drop for sure. IJC looking for yet another inhibitor turret, and Los Ratones might have to send everything just to defend.
Yeah, and I'd like to see someone push mid. Luckily, Certus is there to push that one in. You do definitely want two lanes pushing at the same time. Get threat through the mid lane and top lane with Theocax. Looking. Couldn't find anything this time around.
Well, Shockwave is going to find him, though, and there is enough damage if you're wondering. Good buffer! Great buffer from Velia. The ult from Reckless, too, as IJC are in numbers down. They send out the Equalizer, but Baus re-engages. With the curtain call, it's okay until Baus dies for the trade. The burn from Leandres and the burn from Elder makes it even as IJC continue their pursuit. Crownie has to flash away, but he's out of an ulti, and Los Ratones, regardless of their defense, will still lose this top.
Yeah, this is a good fight for Los Ratones if Elder Dragon wasn't in. As you still got the super minions, so topside, right? So the pressure is on the Rats to clear out these minion waves and get back in time. Baron's been started up, it's on half HP, and we are nowhere near for some of the men. Los Ratones in red carpet.
Poked out, he uses command protect for the time being, but Velia finds Prime, wants the kill. The Chaos Storm is down, the Heartbreaker gives a reset. Baron is going to die, but Los Ratones are looking for the fight. Baus needs the stun, the fourth shot almost finding the kill. Velia looking for a new angle. Remember, this guy has been ahead all game, and now he wants to flaunt it with a root down. This Skarner's going to drop, and Baron Hans recalls, being channeled and not taken. The third kill going to be coming up right now as Velia might get stunned up, and Certus has an option, but command protect, thank you from Nemesis. He screams out as a third kill, eventually going to be dropping down.
Ooh.
They're delaying it. They are scattering the recalls.
All right, and we've got Dragon coming up in 50
Game
seconds.
number 1. Well, Baus doesn't have flash, but he has an angle. I'm looking at IJC for Prime's engages that have led to one thing and another. Shield of Duran finds that Alistar's teleport now going to be channeled. That's the Victor who is mistimed at 4K, though we look towards the pit, and Theocax is in there. Velia is not over the wall.
We got it!
The steal! The Rats get in, scurry through the sewers, and take the Elder, which might lead to the game. Baus plays defensive on the play, but you see that the execute will lead to another. A triple kill over to Crownie. They threw it away top. They bring it back down bot, and as Howling runs for his life, the Rats are doing it. They've brought it back in the opening game of finals.
An open base, a goal deficit, and a 50-50 smite to bring it back. Velia smites that Elder Dragon, and Los Ratones are marching for their first win in this final.
Ain't no way we're seeing Los Ratones win. You rewind 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and IJC had everything but the W. It was all in the bag. It was a formality, but Los Ratones are tenacious, and they will take game number 1.
And we talked about experience, but I look at the rookie jungler with that miracle steal. And I see the hope for the future for EU NLC. 1-0 start against LFL in the finals.
Go pick the dog leash champ, if you will, the one that's going to be engaging. However, I feel like if you do not play for Ambessa here...
Hook is back up off a cooldown as well, so even being under turret is not going to be safe. Crownie getting saved by Reckless. Flash away, stunned up, and He might die. Up into melee range, but under turret, it's not successful yet. HansTD moves in. The turret ramping's big, but a block by TheoCax.
Missed.
He got the feast on the cannon minion. I don't know if you call that worth, but as Val
That's worth. That is worth.
How many minions can he get? That's the only question I want to know. Wait.
And Blitzcrank gets the kill. Yeah, look at that.
He lost his flash before from this Blitzcrank. Scatterweak doesn't connect. He sidesteps the ult from TheoCax as Reckless helps out. Certus almost dead to the ultimate. Velya will finish the job. A 1-for-1. Nemesis, as a flashless Syndra, took so long to die. Because of that, I think Velya might get even more. Prime's in trouble. Velya almost kills TheoCax by himself. This Blitzcrank will be slowed to oblivion with no flash to get away. The overdrive's going to expand and put him down to 200 MS. A kill over to Crownie as well. And just when you think Nemesis caught with his Scout of the Week under turret, he gets some extra follow-up. But the arrow finds his mark, gets a slow on Prime to add insult to injury. And Certus is stuck for ages. He doesn't have those Merc treads yet.
Prime and so the top side to make this grab happen. Here comes the fight.
I mean, you're right. On the travel back, Body's going to get caught out. Nemesis going to ulti to get the kill. Certus jumps on, trying to get blocked by his jungle, but he's autoed to death. Certus with the arrow again, doesn't want to revisit the deja vu, but Velya running the map and running the game. That'll continue, but Certus running out will be even better. TheoCax comes in with a reverse trade, and Reckless drops to the floor. True Shot Barrage with a bit of excess damage as Certus tries to sit afar and damage, but at the end of the day, it looks like an even trade as IJC managed to get something back thanks to this Sejuani.
Hey, they tunnel visioned onto Prime on this Blitzcrank. You've got your shield as well from the passive. That Blitzcrank doesn't go down that easily, especially in the early game when you don't have a lot of items completed. And of course, you've got Torch and Sundered Sky. You should be able to kill him, but I feel like they focused the wrong target. Certus was also there.
This is spotted out thanks to Ash. I mean, red buff will go down. I think in the end, no, it's not Velya to pick it up, but he'll get it regardless. It's a shutdown over to Nemesis. Going too deep here is IJC, and kills are being donated to Los Ratones.
In this game, if they don't want Los Ratones to take that 2-0.
2-0-3 for Velya, really stepping up in this one. And
wow.
Another good grab.
Side set, but the ulti sent everything in the kitchen sink. TheoCax gets the kill. Number 3 for him. So at least that commitment might open up Dragon in 30 seconds.
That was incredibly played by Prime. Sort of flanking around the creeps and baiting Nemesis, no matter how many times you sidestep, unless you use your flash. Prime hits that Q. Now IJC, they've got set up.
Yeah, Velya's caught in. He was starting with a Vault Breaker. Reckless has to commit. It's 3 versus 2, though. The arrow doesn't connect. Certus, the new target for Velya, does so much damage. He's tanking all of them. He flashes away as Crownie now joins in. And IJC just want to play the long con, but HansTD, not enough.
Wow.
Not enough frontline because TheoCax health bar is melting down. With fire, you get ice that starts.
March deep at this point of the game. And it's what's enabling these plays. And Baus
might be dead here as no help, but there should be a reset, and Baus will die to a solo kill. Not a smile this time around as Howling gets something back in the lane.
Yeah, Dragon as well. Number 2 going over for Los Ratones with the Vi, setting up this bot tower. There are answers coming down from IJC, but I'm not sure they're going to get here in time. Should just be the turret falling now for Los Ratones.
I just feel like I want to echo what Foxy was saying earlier on the desk. It's like, Howling's got a pretty good counter matchup right there. You're playing Sejuani, your only melee champion is up the top side of the map. Play for him, because suddenly when an Ambessa 5-0 shows up, what does Syndra and Vi do versus that? What does a
Thinking about what he can fish from here, but unfortunately the bait doesn't seem too good. It's going to be Velya who goes in under turret against a Blitzcrank you don't normally see, but Reckless silence on the arrow. They're not going to let him press his buttons until about now. But the hook is flushed away from through the curtains. He'll fly as Crownie gets the kill, but Nemesis is caught as a frontliner. Certus is now firing away with HansTD, and we just talked about these 80
misses here between 3 members, but that is not the case. That's not the problem here. Los Ratones have committed their bodies way too far forward in this mid lane, and again, immobile carries. Ash, Syndra, you overextend, you're not paying the price. Howling getting some loving from his support as well. Baus goes down one more time.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to be a serious problem because it's not like the top side of the map is riddled with objectives to take. This is going to be a turret. This is going to be jungle taken away from Velya as well, who had a lead. Still does technically, but slowing down this Vi and giving the Sejuani more wiggle room to get beefier. It just feels like Ici Japon Corp are moving into this mid game in a very strong way.
Look at their position in the jungle as well right now. Really taking away the bot side of the map from Los Ratones, making it very difficult to play.
Well.
Yeah, everything's being thrown down right now. This is going to be a big swing, big gold swing as well with these turrets falling.
5 members are all down bot. Nemesis sticks top. He's got teleport available. Syndra might have to press it soon if they want to commit to a fight. Baus is coming here to defend. Munches on the Herald, but it's still going down. This turret, this inner turret, is dead meat. It'll drop. Nemesis commits to top, but how fast is the Syndra going to push here when backs are available from people like Howling and there's still a teleport available for this Embesser as
That
well?
was 3 towers for IJC versus 1 in response from the side of Los Ratones. But the most important part is that you've cleared out the both side of the map if you're IJC, and the IJC have just started. Certus has to run. He has no TP.
Hansam D almost caught out as well. Ulti not going to be popped by Velya. The Dragon will get pulled out, but its patience will start wearing thin any further than this. However, it is close enough, and Theocax will have the smite down. So, third Dragon denied from Los Ratones. Back on the border, IJC, and Los Ratones are just hoping that they'll step in. A 2-man scatter of the week. Reckless setup, the team fight we talk about with the arrow on top. It's perfect. If I was in Italy, I would say Mamma Mia, but this is Paris, and IJC are running back to the Eiffel Tower. At least for now, the poke with the shutdown sets it up. Baus is under a tier 2 turret with the range from Syndra helping him get away. Good scatter of the week as Nemesis steps up to the plate, but Los Ratones not losing a single person. Choreograph, a perfect pick.
The question now is, what are Los Ratones going to take as their prize? The Atakan has spawned at the bot side of the map, and IJC without their jungler for another 5 seconds. Their top laner for 20, but these are relatively low health bars for Los Ratones. Here comes the contest.
But there's no AP. It might not matter here. Quickness going to be used. Prime is the new target again. He rocket grabs Reckless in, but Velya gets over the wall. They pull off, and they start again. Prime now dead. Enough. Howling dead for another 3 seconds. It looks like Atakan maybe thought about and start for round 2.
Balsi coming in for this one now as well. He does have the feast to secure.
But now you have Howling with TP heading towards the top side of the map. They're actually going to give this one up. Again, Ruinous Atakan is one that teams are not willing to throw their bodies or deaths towards.
Nice.
Theocax is... This is so confusing right here because this is what I call spectator mode, but they're not really getting anything for it. At least Certus pushed down that bot lane. I think Theocax got himself a Scuttle Crab.
Went over to Los Ratones. In this game too, they're still looking for picks. The arrow flies out only onto Howling as Baus is willing to step up near the turret. The hook not connecting, but Crownie getting hit by a true shot barrage. Hansam D aggressively forward with an arcane chip while Los Ratones is getting caught out, but it's Baus again. Front lining with the quickness. Now the re-engage. Under turret, he cares not. It's Reckless who sets it up, but the scatter of the week is gorgeous from behind. Los Ratones are healthy enough to continue their onslaught. Under mid turret, 4 versus 5 with the minion wave as well. Nemesis is sending them away. And once again, his own control, huge as Prime.
Nemesis or Crownie, that Baron's going down fast.
But it has AoE with the arrow flying up. It gets no one at 4K. There's an attempt at steal. Don't flip it. It might be leashed by Los Ratones out of the pit.
Oh.
There's a chop there. How easy is it for Baus to just come in and take your whole pantry worth of food? I just see it burst it down because once again, Nemesis got his pick of the fight. Interrupted his Howling as True Shot Barrage tries to claw something back. But Crownie over the wall he goes to trade it out in messy fashion. Los Ratones just walked in and took what they wanted in the second game. With Scatter of the Week not connecting, it's up to Howling to try and stop at least 1, maybe 2 more Barons. Slowed down with a rapture of Balthaz's Halo plays. And Nemesis
the game. Los Ratones were a little bit far away from this Nash, and that was the window that IJC saw, but it wasn't enough. The window was closed.
But there might be an opportunity. I mean, I'm seeing a handle.
The TP Howling.
You know, in Paris, windows might not open, but here in this game, they might do. Nemesis is going to get sandwiched on, and Certus is coming in. Nemesis flashes away, but Baus has already taken down that Sejuani. No chance to get nearby as the arrow flies wide, but Certus has no turret here. A pull-in actually might be a little bit in, because Baus can reposition and start doing something else to someone else. Certus over the wall is getting burnt down as Nemesis is now controlling the game on what is his most iconic pick in League of Legends.
And almost 7,000 gold lead for Los Ratones. 2 members down for IJC. They're still burned up. They get to push through that mid lane. And again,
there's no way France that comes out on top.
How does Baus have
There's no way bottom mid does.
Yeah, that's the herald of your doom here if you are a French fan.
Well, it's been...
Well, he is a gentleman. He picked up a book.
He is indeed.
Why does a gentleman have a book?
Well, because
I mean, I get that, but why do they... Is that a thing?
He's like upper class, you know, upper class libraries,
There's a
big
fireplace,
houses.
a cigar, bit of whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I see.
that's what gentlemen do, apparently.
They read.
They read.
Cup of tea on one
and
hand.
they have tea, yeah.
Yeah.
The whiskey's obviously probably not appropriate, but...
I tell you though, we're in France. I've been here for like 3 or 4 days. I would kill for a good cup of tea.
I feel like if there is going to be a miraculous play, it's going to have to come through that top lane for IJC.
Will it still be alive? Because Baus is chasing down and thinking about what he can do here. Spotted out of 2 members. The arrow flies and gets howling. And you know what? The strongest member is about to meet his fate. Not even chomped up. In the end, it's Nemesis who gets the kill. Number 10 here on the Ratones. 20 stacks Magi Syndra. The book is out and Lost Ratones have a 5v4 for 45 seconds.
Report jungle. IJC howling says in all chat right there. Dashing away. The howling just in the back, taking a stray right there.
What, you expect him to stack in his own jungle?
Yes. Exactly.
You're a jungler, you can't say that.
That's true. That's true. Here comes
Oh.
Velya.
I mean, that is a great hook, actually. The member caught is Velya, and he's not that tanky, but Redemption gives him a bit more time to play with. The turret drops in the meantime. His inhibitor's now next on the menu, and Lost Ratones are healthy enough in the other 4 to keep playing this out, even with a red buff up about 10
Don't,
to go.
I said don't say it, man.
And that was a pretty rubbish throw that kept happening, and you know, it's not like
Listen,
the team is
if
cleanest in the world.
if that happens after you've said it, you're kicked from the cast.
Well, that's fine. Let's just see what happens here. I mean, Lost Ratones right now don't seem to be stopped, and no, that's definitely not going to be the case here. Theocax is caught out, and as we said in this game, he was always behind. He's always trying to find elements of the game, but it's just been Velya's game to lose at this point.
Velya has done so well in this series, right? We hyped up the jungle matchup a little bit about more team facilitatory jungler in Theocax versus carry in Velya, and Velya has done just that, right? He has carried these games. That crucial smite still at the end of game number 1 to seal the fate.
This is just Sol.
Hextech Soul's not going to be fun with Ashe and Syndra.
And not a lot of this game is fun, I would say, for Ici Japon, to be fair. And that is just going to add on top of it, as you mentioned. Sol now, 2 games in a row for Los Ratones. Took them 10 minutes longer in this one, which is a bit ironic, seeing as they're dominating this one in comparison to the last game. But that will be just another weapon in the arsenal for the Rats to push down and close this game out. Game number 2 in this series. As you say, putting them, IJC, on the brink of elimination if they can't hold on.
Putting Lost Ratones 1 step closer to the finals. The arrow doesn't fly. Prime finds a good hook, but again onto Velya. Will it be enough? He flashes away and turns his gaze. A great ultimate in retrospect as now Theocax once again the new target, but look at Nemesis go. He lines them up and shoots them down like they're tin cans on a wall. Baus flashes forward because he's got one thing to say, and that's delicious. Lost Ratones 2-0. The NLC beating down on LFL is not what you expected to hear.
But it's what we were hoping to hear. It's what we were hoping.
She's gonna go full AP, and we all know this. So she's not gonna necessarily be given the time to ramp up in a team fight. However, he does have a lot of agency.
Walking forward with the Lulu, he feels confident, but Hansam D can say the same thing. Prime is zoned
still
out, but Crown, he's still sticking around. What was he thinking there? First blood over to IJC.
And that's exactly what I meant about facilitating your jungler. Nemesis drops mid, dips straight into the jungle. Surges does the same thing. They start trading. But remember what I mentioned earlier about none of them has any CC. The fights kept going back and forth until everyone blows their summoners. Crowny did not have his flash from the earlier skirmish down the bot lane and ends up going down very crucially to Hansam D.
That was very over-aggressive from Crowny in that play right there. Theocax has really turned it around in this one. He might just find himself the 2nd kill of the game on Baus.
Wait.
He'll have W again soon.
Yeah, and Baus will just eat him, so Theocax has to be pretty careful about how he plays this. Baus thinking about trying to dive to the turret. Prime is here. He's tagged out in the end, so Baus will die, but he's going to die to the support.
But look how much time he's wasting.
Look how much he knows turret range as well. I love it. Like, bro, Baus is, as you said, wasting so much time. Next wave comes in. It's delayed, so naturally there'll be a bit of a push. And you're right, Baus wasted time. Dragon's free.
Absolutely, and there's no TP on Howling to join them. There is TP on Baus in 15 seconds. If IJC chose to even try and contest this, he could TP back in for the fight.
And not even an assist for anyone for IJC either. It was all on Prime. Just getting that solo kill at the end of it. Very able to steal away the blue buff alongside the dragon.
Having enough to get a wild growth out.
Theocax.
His ulti's going to run out, and you said Theocax is coming in. He's coming in with everything up. Prime just flashed on in, I believe. No, there's a delay. As Crown flashes away, down the Theocax. Lilting Lullaby is going to connect onto 2. Reckless with his ulti available. Not going to be able to pop it. It's a sweep from Theocax, and it's a perfect double.
What can you do about it? You might actually be able to all out him, under turret him, maybe. Probably not.
Look at that ward. Like, Baus plays him exactly on vision right there.
Yeah, all out, as you said, might be coming out, but explosive casting, okay, kited away, Baus. No way, swell speed, come on, surely. Flash committed. Theocax gets killed.
Second Dragon, first one for IJC. And this is gonna start getting harder and harder because Yone is definitely gonna go on a side lane later on. Absolute menace of a champion as Hansam D and Crowny just going at it.
Yeah, they are indeed. Crowny just battling away. Baus coming in to stay, and Hansam D is going to get help from the Deer, but Theocax set in the middle now without his ulti. Velya finally joined in. He pounces and he's looking for his first kill.
Whoa,
his
the
first
damage!
setup is not found. Howling also getting into the fray as Baus needs a slow, needs to get out. Velya now on the wrong side and spears into Kasana means nothing. It's a flash away. Theocax still chasing without his own flash though. One spear will take him out, but it's only Howling who's in sight for now. Velya jumping over the wall.
No.
Sneaky as all hell, the spear! Velya, that outplay was insane! He jumps around Vision, gets the kill, sees Sam D here, and thinks, okay, let's go again. He's angry, he's upset, but it turns into an int in the end, I guess, as Sam D was a bit too much.
We've all been there. The hype, the adrenaline for making us.
Grab the Herald and they'll grab that mid lane tower.
Oh, but here comes the engaged topside. Howling could be in trouble.
Yeah, spear doesn't connect. That was the biggest part as Velya looks
No
for
flash.
yet another unstoppable for the time being now. Into the Cougar form, the explosive cast sends him up against the wall. The all out makes him squishy, but Velya's taking some turret shots. However, the spear this time does. And a shutdown over. But Velya again trying to get the spear, but it's taking so long. Shocked and Howling and set up against the turret. The ulti's there. Crowny almost dies, but they finally commit. Well, in a turret mid is the cost. Normally it's lost Ratones that overcommit to the top
Wait,
lane.
Howling is doing Baus cosplay, keeping 3 members busy from Los Ratones. Last time this play happened in the top lane, it was tier 1 mid. Second
Perfect.
time it's tier 2 mid.
Oh, the wild growth was good. Fate Sealed is going to catch
Oh,
him
the
in
block!
place to flash away from Citizens. There's a reset here. The Soul Unbound, the ulti. Great play from Reckless and Nemesis right in front of the Dragon. They get a clean pick.
Yeah, but that kill on top is going to cost that tower in mid plus the Dragon as well. Definitely not worth it here for the Rats. They would have picked up one on the side, and that is Nemesis' first kill, so he should be able to get going a little bit as Baus is
Speaking
now
of
in
great
trouble.
play, oh my god, Theocax, a prediction over the wall. Sleepy time, that was just incredible. The jungler finally rising up in IJC. Mistake on Vision as well. IJC needs to get in now. This Lily needs to try and steal. Crowny is soloing this, but Velya jumps in. Atakan is going to drop. The flower's exposed. Crowny sitting, taking as much as he can as IJC are ulting upon, but there's the Cassante ulting dead meat. Howling, he's first into the dirt. Baus looking for a little bit more. The blast cone to get them out. Small moments, small details.
Idea, I feel, from IJC, but just not quite quick enough. Nice try on the steal. It is going to turn into that mid turret, though, for Los Ratones. I'll take that one, open up the map.
That was a terrible idea. You have no setup for bot lane. That is your sole point if you can get that Dragon. You have no vision. You lost your mid lane tower because majority of your members are on the top side of the map now. And your sole point is being taken away, 2 apiece for both of these teams. And I feel like, again...
These last couple of plays, he's been big. Los Ratones are trying to flaunt the start of this. I mean, Theocax got burnt down a bit. He's at half HP. Ward now spots it out, but 8k, 7k. Look at where Theocax is. He's going to roll in over some traps. 3k is going to be a flip, but no! Smite before the Deer gets near the headlights.
Howling
He gets chunked massive to the point where he's out of the fight.
But that is the Lilia ult out. Theocax has his flash, I'm sorry, lose my mind, has his flash available to make that big play. And again, that dizziness on the engage. Los Ratones now with the bound can just get to push for free.
Oh, it's so tough.
Found him, Velya over the wall, and we're back to jungle superiority.
That is a one shot. That is a very dead Theocax. That Deer is donezo. Velya took him some time to get online in this game, but 31 minutes in, him and the rest of the Rats looking like they have a stranglehold in game number 3 and potentially will be the end of EAE Masters. IJC's LFL run could be over.
The Dragon has now spawned. It will spell soul points for Los Ratones, and Velya is already on his way. That Baron has netted them 2 towers and a Dragon and a couple of kills right here, and from a gold deficit into a very strong 3,000 gold lead. Well, you could argue that the entire lead is on to Baus as he's 3,000 up.
Single year gets better and better apparently, but the NLC brought together a super team beyond comprehension. A streamer who proxies and ints his games but then suddenly he can team fight. Theo Cax about to get that to the face as Pal goes Betty bye-byes while Nemesis comes in and flies. Prime against the turret, just gets chunked out. Howling's meant to be a tank, but Crownie's diving it. IJC are getting dopey on the limits now as well, and the NLC, it feels like it finally reached to the point. 3 are dead, 30 seconds left, and Los Ratones are looking at a 3-0.
4 years and 2 heartbreaks, but third time is a charm.
You can say one thing and one thing only, that Cagel's project was a respect. Once again, Europe is consumed by the plague of rats. And here, the NLC will stand, hoisting up EMEA Masters for winter 2025. Your new champions and lords.
It's just the content.